late last week, after our show, Hailie Deegan announced her 2024 plans. She will be moving up to the NASCAR Xfinity Series and driving the number 15 AM Racing Ford. So she has signed a multi-year agreement for her sponsorship from Airbox, Viva, and Tequila Seltzer. So Joe, after 3 years in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, do you think Hailie Deegan is ready for this next step?
She's as ready as she'll ever be for this next step. One of the big things last year, some folks remember on this program, myself, Ben, we were talking about how Hailie Deegan had done 2 years in the Truck Series, meaning people were anticipating she's going to do the Xfinity Series at some level next year because she had done one Xfinity Series start, had a top 20 finish. So we were all surprised that she decided to do Truck Series for her third year, a different team because she's still affiliated with Ford. The current Ford team she was with at the time switched over to Toyota. So it's a learning change for her. And considering she had two teammates outperform her this year, I think a lot of people were wondering what's going to happen. Well, this deal came through with a team that's looking at expanding, looking at bringing in sponsorship. Hailie Deegan, she is one of the drivers out there that could bring funding to a team. So this seems to be a move to make sense when it comes to, can she stay in another year in the Truck Series? She could. If she improves, well, that's great. But a lot of people I think will be talking about she should have moved up to the Xfinity Series, just like last year when we had this discussion. We've seen several drivers go from the Truck Series, be mediocre, go to Xfinity Series, and then they do better. We've seen some drivers go from the Xfinity Series and do worse or better in the Cup Series. And in fact, just a couple of days ago on Grid Tonight, Kobe, Alden, they were talking about Carson Hocevar going from the Truck Series to the Cup Series full time. So there's really no good indicator, in my opinion, of assured success in the next level. I mean, even Tony Brenniger, this season, at the very beginning, we were talking about how she seemed to be struggling. Now she's putting everything together, and when she made her first Truck Series planned start, really surprised everyone and just seems to have a lot of momentum. This could be a new start for Hailie Deegan, new surrounding, new competitors. We know about the criticism with the Truck Series, the lack of respect. This could be a great opportunity for her, and I think this move made sense in my opinion.
Right, and Joe, now Hailie will be driving alongside the 25 car which Brett Moffitt drives. So his best finish is fourth in a rain-short Chicago race. And it is his only top 5 finish of the year along with 9 top 10 finishes. There's no confirmation about him yet returning. So do you think he would be a good teammate for Deegan to pair up with in 2024?
I do see him being a good teammate because one of the big things, Brett Moffitt, a lot of experience in the Truck Series, and then coming here to Xfinity Series, gaining that experience, climbing up the ladder. For Hailie Deegan, this is a driver I feel that she could earn the trust with, work together in advancing that team, and then for a team to expand to two cars, that's a big step. It's not just simply having a second set of cars on the track and a second set of pit crews, haulers, and all that. A lot of work when it comes to the funding, the sponsorship, the working of the two teams together to try to make each team elevate their performance. It's a big undertaking. I think Brett Moffitt is a good pick to have there. If they decide to go that route, the one mistake I think some people try to look at is having somebody that's very experienced, an older driver that's been around a long time, where you have Brett Moffitt. He's experienced. He has relevant experience in the Truck Series even. So I overall feel this could be a very good combination for AM Racing and for Hailie Deegan to really learn a lot and hopefully have a good rookie season in the Xfinity Series.
Joe, as you said, hopefully she'll have a great rookie season. And it's assumed that Stewart Haas Racing will be providing the technical support to AM Racing. Now, Ford has invested a lot of funds in Deegan's career in NASCAR, but in the past, we have seen Ford let drivers slip away from them, including the most recent Zane Smith. So, how will Ford monitor Deegan's progress and the other Ford teams in the Xfinity and Cup Series?
It's a really interesting dynamic. Hailie Deegan, multi-year deal. So we're assuming at least 2 years, potentially a third year depending on her progress. But you got to be looking at what's going on in the Cup Series at the same time because let's be honest, there's not a whole lot of seats with Ford backing in the Cup Series. Roush Fenway Racing, RFK with Keselowski, their seats, they got two right now. Could they expand to a third team? by the end of 2 years, 2026? Potentially. You also have the Wood brothers, one of the oldest teams in NASCAR. They get a lot of support from Ford. And for some reason, Harrison Burton is just average, but somehow has the funding for one more year into 2025. And in 2025, will be interesting to see if Hailie Deegan could be a contender for the Cup Series and where Harrison Burton is with his career. I think Ford has sort of learned after losing Zane Smith, missing out the opportunity of getting Kyle Larson, that they need some star power in motorsports. You look at the series right now, Cole Custer seems to be one of the drivers that is up towards the front. And of course, he came back from the Cup Series. He would love to be in the Cup Series again and top equipment, show his true potential. But overall, when it comes to some of the top rides, Penske, Wood Brothers, which has a technical alliance with Penske, far and few, especially since we've seen the decline of Stewart Haas Racing and the surprise and rise of Michael McDowell, Front Row Motorsports. And that could be another potential opportunity for Hailie Deegan, too, being in Front Row Motorsports in 2 years' time, 2026. So overall, I think Ford, they're going to be monitoring what the other teams are doing, what their drivers doing, and what Hailie Deegan's doing. And of course, who else is going to be in the Xfinity Series with Ford backing? Right now, it's a very limited group. Riley Herbst, his name always seems to come up. He has done pretty good in the Cup Series Super Speedway races. Overall, I think Ford, especially with Hailie Deegan, the last thing they want is to see Hailie Deegan switch over to Toyota or Chevrolet because of backing. I think Ford is really going to put a lot of effort in retaining Hailie Deegan in the Xfinity Series and potentially the Cup Series in 2026 or later.